Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the special meeting of the Liquor Control Commission for Monday, April 27, 2015. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Commissioner Vito?
Here.
Commissioner Hein?
Here.
Commissioner Kruger?
Present.
Commissioner Vogel?
Here.
Commissioner Lang?
Here.
Commissioner Brady?
Here.
Chairperson Argyris?
Here. Thank you. 4A, entertain a motion to approve the renewal licenses for 2015, 2016, except for St. Joe the Worker Church. Entertain a motion?
With three conditions.
With three conditions. I'm sorry, you want to read the record?
Sure. Submittal of application materials, including attachments, complete and in good order. 2, payment of all associated license fees. And 3, satisfactory background check results for all responsible parties.
Thank you. And it was a motion by Commissioner Lang, second by?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Kruger. Roll call.
Commissioner Vito?
Yes.
Commissioner Hein?
Yes.
Commissioner Kruger?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Lang?
Yes.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Chairperson Argyris?
Yes. Entertain a motion to approve the liquor license renewal for St. Joe the Worker Catholic Church with no conditions.
Mr. President, or Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I'm going to have to refrain from voting on this due to...
Talk in the mic, please. Okay, I'm
I
sorry.
have to refrain from voting on this due to our association with the Knights.
Okay. Commissioner Vogel?
The same.
Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Hines, second by Commissioner Lang. Roll call.
Commissioner Vito?
Yes.
Commissioner Hein?
Yes.
Commissioner Kruger?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel?
Abstain.
Commissioner Lang?
Yes.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes, Dean.
Chairperson Argyris?
Yes. Let's see, 4B, we have in consideration of 7 Class D4 liquor license. Any conditions to that, John?
1, the issuance by the village of the primary liquor license for each applicant, which was handled above.
Thank you. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Kruger,
Second.
second by Commissioner Brady. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Vito?
Yes.
Commissioner Hein?
Yes.
Commissioner Kruger?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Lang?
Yes.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Chairperson Argyris?
Yes. Entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Lang, second by Commissioner Vogel. Roll call.
Commissioner Vito?
Yes.
Commissioner Hein?
Yes.
Commissioner Kruger?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogel?
Yes.
Commissioner Lang?
Yes.
Commissioner Brady?
Yes.
Chairperson Argyris?
Yes, thank you. The special meeting for Monday, April 27th is now called to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Vito?
Here.
Trustee Hein?
Here.
Trustee Kruger?
Present.
Trustee Vogel?
Here.
Trustee Lang?
Here.
Trustee Brady?
Here.
President Argyris?
Here. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes for the regular meeting of March 16, 2015.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Brady. Second. Second by Trustee Hein. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Argyris?
Yes. Entertain a motion for the workshop meeting of the minutes for March 23rd, 2015.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
Trustee Vogel, second by Trustee Kruger. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Argyris?
Yes. Any changes to the agenda?
None this evening.
Thank you. We do have proclamations this evening. Madam Clerk?
Reverend Michael Bonner, SVD. Father Michael Bonner has served for 11 years as pastor of St. Joseph the Worker Catholic Church in Wheeling. Under Father Bonner's guidance, St. Joseph the Worker has maintained its status as a focal point in the spiritual, social, and civic lives of many residents of Wheeling and neighboring communities. Father Bonner currently ministers to over 2,000 parishioners with over 1,000 children enrolled in religious education programs. Since his ordination as a priest in the Society of the Divine Word on January 15, 1966, Father Bonner has served in the Philippines, the Watts neighborhood of Los Angeles, and the south suburbs of Chicago, in addition to his long tenure in Wheeling. On Sunday, April 26, Father Bonner presided over his final Mass as pastor of St. Joseph the Worker Catholic Church. Dean Argyris, President of the Village of Wheeling, do hereby call upon the citizens of Wheeling to join him in honoring the Reverend Michael Bonner for his distinguished service to his parishioners and to the broader Wheeling community.
Last Friday, we presented the proclamations of Father at a
a gala that they had over at the community center, and it was well attended, and it was a lot of fun, and we wish Father Bonner the best of his retirement with his family. Next proclamation.
Building Safety Month, May 2015. Through our continuing efforts to address the critical issues of safety, energy, efficiency, water conservation, and resilience in the built environment affecting our citizens, both in everyday life and in times of natural disaster, we are confident that our structures are safe and sound. Our confidence is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, laborers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safety construction of buildings. These guardians, dedicated members of the International Code Council, use a governmental consensus process that brings together local, state, and federal officials with expertise in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes to protect Americans in the building where we live, learn, work, worship, and play. The international codes, the most widely adopted building safety, energy, and fire prevention codes in the nation, are used by most U.S. cities, counties, and states. These modern building codes also include safeguards to protect the public from natural disasters such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, and earthquakes. Building Safety Month, sponsored by the International Code Council, reminds the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown guardians of public safety, our local code officials who ensure us of safe, efficient, and livable buildings. Resilient communities start with building codes. The theme for Building Safety Month 2015 encourages all Americans to raise awareness of the importance of building safety and resilient construction, fire prevention, disaster mitigation, water safety and conservation, energy efficiency, and new technologies in the construction industry. Building Safety Month 2015 encourages appropriate steps everyone can take to ensure that the places where we live, learn, work, worship, and play are safe and sustainable, and recognizes that countless lives have been saved due to the implementation of safety codes by local and state agencies. Each year, in observance of Building Safety Month, Americans are asked to consider projects to improve building safety and sustainability at home and in the community, to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local and state building departments, fire prevention bureaus, and federal agencies in protecting lives and property. Therefore, it is hereby proclaimed that May 1st through May 31st, 2015 is Building Safety Month in Wheeling.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is awards. But before we recognize the volunteers that serve this community, I would like everyone to share a moment of silence for me for Commissioner Donna Prelitz, who passed away a few days ago. Donna served on our Board of Health Commission from 2006 and 2011 and was a fantastic commissioner. She brought so much to the table, and unfortunately she succumbed from her illness about 2 weeks ago. Thank you. Volunteer appreciation certificates will be issued to 136 volunteers that are in our lobby. But I'd like to recognize the Board of Health, the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners, the Plan Commission, the Senior Commission, Wheeling Citizens Police Academy and Alumni Association, CARE, Community Assistant Relief Efforts, Citizens Patrol, Senior Center, Blood Drive and Health Fair, Snow Removal Program that we enacted this year. And I'd also like to recognize those who serve and represent the Village of Wheeling on the Chicago Executive Board, which would be Trustee Lang, Board Director Neil Katz, Board Director David Kolsak, and also Chairman of the Board, who's a resident of Wheeling, Robert McKenzie. So between the Village Clerk and Trustee Kruger, we have a list that we would like to name and recognize you, and thank you all for doing what you do. We talk about team, we talk about people who get elected, and that's one thing, and our staff. But part of that team are those who volunteer and want to serve us and serve this community. And we thank you, and we applaud each and every one of you, and we'll get to the applause in a few minutes. So, Madam Clerk, you can start it.
First of all, if I mispronounce your last name, I want to apologize ahead of time, okay? Debbie Acevedo, Jeannie Annis, Karina Arujo, Pamela Armenta, Nicole Baker, Alan Barnes, Lee Becker, Kathy Belwar, Skip Bieber, Steve Burlich, Michael Beaver, Linda Birnbaum, Annegret Blumberg, Barbara Bollinger, Linda Bressett, Frank Bressett, Jerry Brockett, Doris Brooks, Carrie Brown, Fritz Casperson, Marty Chapman, Bill Churchill, Maria Clarkson, Deneen Coronius Shannon, Martha Cross, Edward Delaney, Georgia Delaney, Renee Dicker, Pam Dorban, Arthur Ebling, Flo Feener, Merle Feldman, Pedro Flores, April Flores Brayton, Barbara Forkey, Kevin Frey, Teresa Galvin, Barbara Gerber, David Gerstetter.
Same thing that Clerk Simpson said. Betty Giambroni, Ceslawa Gorka, Pat Gouletas, Ron Granstrom, Barbara Grossman, Kathleen Gulyas, Eileen Halleck, Harley Halleck, Marilyn Hams, Al Hemd, Patricia Hemd, Estelle Heber, George Heber, Sadie Johns, Don Johnson, Gilder Juarez, Susan Keller, Dolores Kelly, Sandy Kipps, Michael Cohen, Kenneth Kramer, Rogelia Kramer, Crystal Labonte, Barbara LaHaye, Carol Ancelotti, Gloria Lederman, Ann Lee, Young Lee, Jenny Levine, Ann Lewandowski, Ricky Lewandowski, Anita Lowenstein, Tom Logan, Gerald Mallon, Ralph Mansfield, Marianne Marabella, Juana Mariscal, Chuck Mason, Faye Mason, and Pat Mazarka.
Charles McAtee, Desmond McDonald, Pat Miller, Mike Moran, Diane Mucanti, Linda Mueller, Michael Murphy, Sharon Murray, Laura Neva, Lois Nell, Sandy Nivitz, Al Pilecki, Patty Perini, Nikki Pedrick, Julie Peterson, Kathy Pico, Jackie Portnoy, Steve Powers, Gary Premack, Joanne Pervin, Joe Ravina, Rob Reisman, John Richmond, Rich Richmond, Patricia Rizzo, Steve Rosengard, Alicia Ross Rudolph, Jim Rufato, Vilma Sanchez, James Schlepper, Amy Schwamm, Christopher Scott, Sherry Scott, Bobby Sfondilis, Janet Siepel, Alan Simon, Cindy Bajada Mays, Bobby Spiegel, Terry Stylen, Sue Stein.
Carolyn Targan, Hernan Tellez, Scott Ventura, Jack Volreed, Roberta Volreed, Doris Wagner, Ed Walsh, Sandra Wazak, Corrine Weber, Fred Wellstead, Pinky Wennerstrom, Bill Wilson, Marie Woodruff, Erica Young, Sam Young, Paul Zangara, and Ludmila Zub.
Congratulations. In a few minutes, we're going to take a break for some refreshments, but I have some business I have to do first. So item number 7, appointments and confirmations. I entertain a motion to appoint John Kolsak to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners.
So moved. Second.
Motion by trustee Brady, second by trustee Vogel. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Juris?
Yes. Entertain a motion for the reappointments of Albert Hem to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners and Michael Moran to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners. Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by
Second.
trustee Krueger, second by trustee Vogel. Roll call.
Trustee Vogel. Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Juris?
Yes. We have administration of votes. Mr. Kolsak, if you would go to the podium, please.
Can you please raise your right hand and repeat after me?
All right.
I, John Kosak,
I, John Kolsak,
having been appointed to the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners
have been appointed to the Board of Police and Fire Police Commissioners
in the Village of Wheeling,
in the Village of Wheeling,
in the counties of Cook and Lake,
in the counties of Cook and Lake,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will solemnly support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of office of the Board of Fire and Police Commission
as officer of the Board of Fire and Police Commissioners,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Well, a Colsack tradition and the Police and Fire Commission will live on, hopefully for another 17, 18 years like his father did. And John, I thank you on behalf of the board that you're stepping up, and I know Dad's proud. And it's such an important aspect, it's an important commission for us, because it is regarding public safety, and you got a good group of guys there, and I know you'll do great. Thank you. Mr. Moran? Mike Moran, where did he go? Oh, there he is. So why don't you step up?
Gotcha.
I, Mike Moran,
I, Mike Moran,
having been reappointed to the Board of Fire and Police Commission
having been reappointed to the Board of Police and Fire Commissioners,
in the Village of Wheeling,
Village of Wheeling,
in the counties of Cook and Lake,
counties of Cook and Lake,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
I will faithfully discharge the duties
of office of Board of Fire and Police Commission,
of the Office of the Board of Police and Fire Commission,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Moran. How many years is this now? Where's it going? 12? 16. There you go. Is Mr. Hem in the audience? I haven't seen Al. Is Al there? Something must have happened. I thought he was coming. But we'll swear him in later on. And I've also asked the police chief and the fire chief to relay the message to replace Chairman Kolsak. I've asked that Mr. Moran become chairman and Mr. Palicki to become secretary, to move him up the ladder as well, because I think with their knowledge of the two individuals, that with everything that we do have going on, it'll be a good fit and some good camaraderie on that commission. And again, I thank each and every one of you for the time that you put into this community. We couldn't do anything without you, and we really appreciate it. With that being said, I entertain a motion to take a break for about 10, 15 minutes. We have some refreshments outside, and don't forget to pick up your certificates. They should be in alphabetical order, and please take them home. And we, again, appreciate everything you guys done. So entertain that motion to...
Second.
Motion by trustee Hines, second by trustee Kruger. The roll call, or?
All in favor?
All in favor is fine. All in favor? Aye. Okay, let's take 15. Entertain a motion to reconvene into open session at 7:05.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Brady,
Second?
second by trustee Hine. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, citizens' concerns,
There
comments?
are none, Mr. President.
Okay. Thank you. Staff reports, Community Development Director Janik.
Thank you. Tonight I want to talk about a couple of projects that are going on, or one that's going on right now and one that's going to start up soon. The Hinch Road Improvement Project has started, as I think all of you know. That project's going to last through most likely early September. It looks like they're going to be working on one lane at a time, except of course at the bridge, which they're working on the deck right now. But it does look like they're going to be working on one lane at one time. So they'll be saw cutting, removing concrete, and then pouring, and then they'll move to another lane along the entire length of the roadway. The second project, have you seen signs for Dundee Road? The streetlight project for Dundee Road is going to start up probably beginning of next week. Now, there are signs up both on Wolf Road and at each end on Dundee Road. The streetlight program, that's new streetlights along Dundee Road from the train tracks east to Milwaukee Avenue. There shouldn't be much in the way of road construction. These streetlights are going on in the right-of-way, of course, but there will be lane closures in certain sections of the road while they install the streetlights themselves, and probably have concrete trucks coming along the road to pour concrete for the bases. So you will see some road lane closures, but hopefully those won't last very long. There are other items that we're trying to work out with the county and the state. For instance, on Hinch Road, we've been able to get the county to increase the length of the lights, the green lights at these signals for longer periods of time during rush hour in each direction. And then on Dundee Road, we believe we've gotten the state to agree to start at a later time and end at a different time during the rush hour on the east and west. For instance, going east in the morning, the construction hopefully will not start until 9 o'clock in the morning instead of 7 o'clock. Going west, of course, during the morning hours, they can work early. Now, going west at nighttime, the construction will end earlier than later. So we're trying to accommodate rush hour both on Hinch Road and Dundee Road, but it's a very tough thing to do. Both roadways have a lot of traffic on them. We're doing the best we can.
Any questions from anybody? You know what, I got to say something, and I thank staff, because I know you guys went to the Cook County meeting last week, and the idea of doing something with signalization, especially like at Wheeling Road and Hinch Road, and try to time some of the construction during peak rush hour seems to be working a little bit. Folks, we know what, we get it here. It's an inconvenience, we know that. But I think you guys, all the residents of this community and the businesses of this community, need to realize that we have an opportunity here, as you're seeing with the streetlight program, $1 million+ project and a grant that we fought for. And Cook County finally recognizing the need to do something with Hinch Road. And again, millions of dollars being reinvested into this community here. It's an inconvenience, yeah it is. It's horrible. But you know what, we're finally getting our share of what needs to be done with the infrastructure improvements within our community, versus us being inconvenienced in other people's communities and they're getting what haven't been getting all these years. So again, please be patient. I get emails, I get phone calls all the time. I drive in it too. I'm stuck in it too. My family is too. You know what, you got to be patient, try to time it, and it's not forever, you know, and this light program is a quicker program than the Hinch Road project, but at least we're trying to get things done here, and you know, and I thank staff for reaching out. I mean, I forward all the emails to staff, and they're reaching out to county. County's been very good about listening and trying to find some solutions for our businesses and our residents along Hinch Road. But again, just be patient. It's not forever. It'll get done, and when it's done, it'll be worthwhile. So Mark, thanks, and the rest of the staff, police department, fire department as well. Okay, next, Economic Development Director Janik. Valantvi, I'm sorry.
Thank you, President Argyros. The Wheeling, Prospect Heights Chamber of Commerce and Industry and the Village of Wheeling are hosting the Affordable Care Act seminar on Thursday, April 30th, here in the Village Hall in the boardroom at 8:30 a.m. A copy of the marketing flyer is on the screen. We have a panel of experts, George Schwabe with Vantage Point Benefit Advisors Incorporated, and Steve Gadomski, also with Vantage Point Benefit Advisors. The breakfast sponsor is Ultra Foods from Prospect Heights, and the cost is free for manufacturers and $10 for non-manufacturers. We've been working with manufacturers in the village of Wheeling. We've backfilled about 640,000 square feet of vacant industrial space, and these seminars are very beneficial to our manufacturers. For more information, you can go to the Chamber website at www.wphchamber.com. Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
You're welcome.
Consent agenda?
All items listed on the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the village board and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a board member or citizen so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered after all other agenda items.
Thank you. Any concerns or questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Lang, second by trustee Brady. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Juris?
Yes. 13A, Madam Clerk.
Resolution accepting a bid and approving a contract with A-Lam Concrete for the 2015 motor fuel tax street improvement program.
Thank you. Director Janik.
Thank you. This is the annual contract for the villages to spend money from the motor fuel taxes that the state collects and then transfers to the village. This year, the low bidder contract was A-Lamp Construction. The contract is for $1.16 million, and we expect to improve approximately 7,000 linear feet of road.
Thank you. Trustee Krueger.
Thank you. Mark, I would like to ask why Jackson Drive is being delayed until next year.
The decision, Jackson Drive is put as an alternate on the MFT contract. Slight possibility that part of Jackson Drive could get done depending on how much savings we have in the program, if we have any savings. The reason why it was put as an alternate is because earlier this year it appeared that the village might be successful in installing a lift station and burying certain pipe, storm sewer pipe toward Hintz Road. Staff felt that if that project did come to fruition, which we expected to this summer or maybe early this fall, we did not want both projects going on at the same time and possibly damaging roadway that might have gotten paved before that project took place.
Thank you. That said, I want to take a moment just to say how pleased I am with that recent development. I remember writing a letter to Commissioner Goslin back in 2008 and copying the village, making that request to see if Jackson Drive could connect in some way for stormwater mitigation to their Hintz Road stormwater. I'm really happy that staff did not forget about us on that project. So this is, I know we're waiting for finalization, but in the event that it does go through, this is a big win for the village with regard to all the things that we do regarding stormwater, at least in that southwest corner of the community. My next question would be about that project, is what is the cost anticipated for that project?
So far, our consultant engineer, Hager Engineering, has done drawings for the pipe itself. We have not designed the lift station or the pumps that are going to go inside that, the pit itself. I expect that the cost is going to be somewhere in the range. It's a wide range, but I expect it to be between $200,000 and $300,000.
Great. And what fund would shoulder that cost?
The Water and Sewer Fund.
Great.
But I do need to warn you, we have just preliminary drawings right now. We need to review them. We need to then go to Cook County, make sure that we get their buy-in again relative to those drawings, and then we will go to final engineering and then bid them out.
Thanks. Well, I certainly hope that they continue, and that I'm glad that we're working on it in hopes that they don't change their mind. And if they do change their mind, would Jackson Drive be put back into the rotation for 2015, or would we still just delay it to next year?
The situation with that is Jackson Drive was put as an alternate to the MFT contract. Right now, the way the low bid came in, approximately $39,000 above what our actual funding amount is. Now, typically, in the past couple of years, the low bid has been below what our funding amount is, and therefore we've been able to do extra projects. I certainly believe that we're going to be able to save enough money to get all the normal projects that are on the MFT bid. The fact that Jackson is an alternative on there, if I am able to save a substantial amount of money for whatever reason, we will try to get Jackson or part of Jackson done. But right now, I do not expect Jackson will be done this year. Since it is an alternative, we'll put it on for next year.
I thoroughly appreciate that, and your success rate with saving money is very proven, Mark. So we'll see how things pan out for the rest of the year. My last question on this topic would be for John, and that is, once the county does approve everything and we move forward with that connection project, could we send some kind of communication to residents on Jackson Drive, letting them know what's going on?
Absolutely. We can send a letter to everyone in that area, letting them know about both projects. One, why, and with an explanation as to why the project for the street was pushed, and two, a more detailed explanation as to what exactly is happening as far as the connection to the county storm sewer system.
I'm very patient, only because it has to do with stormwater, and I think that's a great win for the community. Thank you very much.
Anybody else? I just got a couple things real quick. Mark, just explain MFT, motor fuel tax, where those dollars come from, for those who don't know.
Motor fuel tax dollars come from taxes that are levied upon every gallon of gas that's purchased in the state of Illinois. That money then gets distributed by the state to all the communities in Illinois.
How do we get our share? I mean,
It depends on how much gas is sold.
our community.
Yes.
No.
No?
Michael?
Sorry, it's based solely on population, so every community receives the same amount, but it changes based on population. So, but the payout is at the same rate, is what I'm trying to say.
Based on per capita.
Based on per capita, thank you.
And then this is one for next year. Based on the talks that have been going on in Springfield regarding cutting that fund, and it's been proposed by the governor, Mr. Attorney, I'd like to see something in the future where we have an out clause on some of these bids that we're going out for, and that we're not bounded by those bids based on the income that we receive, the revenue that we receive.
Okay.
We need an out clause, in other words.
Well, we're going to have to probably tailor an out clause to each contract.
I think you're going to have to, based on what they're proposing. In this case, they're talking about 50% cut in the MFT and their future budget. And if that's the case, and we're bounded on a contract, on a bid contract, there's no out clause here. And then, you know, we're dipping into reserves, and we're dipping into, you know, to make up that difference in revenue. So I think in the future, and I've talked to other mayors too, and they're actually giving their council advice to do that as well.
Well, do you want to do that with this one? You know, and we can, I guess, hold off until next week.
I think we hold off till next year.
Okay.
Based on what's going to happen in June, or in July, I should say, because we don't know.
Okay.
That would be helpful.
That would not, I mean, instead of stirring the pot on this one. Sure. But any future bid contracts, we need that out clause.
And then what we'll do, President Argyris, is include that form contract in our bid materials, so contractors will see that out clause when they bid.
And they're going to see it from every other community as well.
I agree.
Thank you. Anybody else, folks? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Kruger,
Second.
second by trustee Brady. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Harjuris?
Yes. 13B.
Resolution accepting a bid and approving a contract with City Construction Company for the 2015 water main replacement and roadway improvement program.
Thank you. Director Janik.
Thank you. This also is an annual contract that that the city or the village has been entering into with various contractors for water main improvements throughout the village. This year, City Construction was a low bidder for plastic pipe. We've been putting in a PVC plastic water main for the past 3 years. The contract is worth approximately $1.77 million, and we expect to install approximately 4,000 linear feet of water main this year.
Thank you. Questions? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Brady,
Second.
second by trustee, who was it, Vito?
Vito.
Roll call?
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Argyros?
Yes. 13C.
Resolution approving an agreement with RJN Group Incorporated for sanitary sewer system evaluation services.
Thank you. Director Janik.
Thank you. Last year, the Metropolitan Water and Sewer Department of Cook County instituted new regulations relative to sanitary sewer systems. Last year, the village underwent a contract for flow monitoring in the sanitary sewer system. The flow monitoring helped the village find out where there are high-risk areas of possible leaks or infiltration to the sanitary sewer system. This evaluation that's being requested tonight is needed because due to the flow monitoring results, there are different high-risk areas, and this evaluation service by RJN will determine how much work we need to do in certain areas of the sanitary sewer system to make it comply with MWRD standards.
Thank you. Questions? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Hein,
Second.
second by trustee Lang. Roll call?
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Argyros?
Yes. 13D.
Resolution authorizing change order number 1 to the consultant contract with V3 Companies Incorporated for 115 and 119 South Milwaukee Avenue environmental remediation.
Thank you. Director Janik.
Thank you. In 2014, the village board entered into a contract with V3 Consulting Incorporated. Representative is here tonight for any questions you might have. The contract was for the environmental cleanup of 119 South Milwaukee Avenue. As you might remember, there was a couple buildings on 115 and 119 South Milwaukee. There was a purchase that was completed in 2014 for 119 South Milwaukee. We then did demolition work on both buildings in 2014 and cleaned up that site. There's grass growing on there right now. V3 was hired to obtain what's called a no further remediation permit or letter from the state of Illinois. In order to do that, testing and various other environmental work has to be done on site. This change order has to do with existing testing wells that were installed on the site years ago. When V3 undertook the contract and then went on site to look at these wells for testing purposes, they realized that some additional work had to be done on the testing wells themselves in order to be made viable for testing. This $4,570 contract or change order is in addition to the contract in order to make those wells available for testing.
Thank you. Questions? Entertain a motion?
So moved.
Motion by trustee Lang,
Second.
second by trustee Vito. Roll call?
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Argyros?
Yes. 13E.
Resolution authorizing the village president clerk to execute a real estate contract for the sale of village-owned property at 199 North First Street, the Senior Center, to the Greek American Nursing Home with a lease back by the village of 2 years plus a 2-year option.
Thank you. Attorney Ferrello.
Thank you, Mr. President. Before the board tonight is a real estate contract and a lease back to sell the senior center to the Greek American Nursing Home. This comes up as a result of the discussions that the village board has looked into with the Park District to partner for senior operations. The sale price for the senior center is $875,000, which was a fair price based on the current appraisals. It's a good use in terms of the neighboring user, and we do have a 2-year lease that will start upon closing, which is scheduled to be May 26th of this year, with a 2-year option. Beyond that, the rent term is $1 per year under the lease. In order to qualify for the 2-year option, to take this to a 4-year lease, the village has to be actively either constructing or remodeling the future senior center site. I can answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions?
Just
Go
one.
ahead.
As a reassurance to the folks at the senior center, that we won't be getting kicked out of there anytime soon. We do stress those options over again.
Correct. The lease starts upon closing, which is May 26th of this year. It is $1 a year lease. You won't be changing operations at all. You've got 2 years with a very liberal 2-year option. So this can go off 4 years, at the most, 4 years currently. But there is no opportunity for the Greek American Nursing Home to evict us. I guess if we don't pay our $1 per year, that could occur. But other than that, it's a very, very fair deal going into the future for continued operations while you do pin down the new home for the senior center.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
So moved.
Sir, do you have a motion by trustee Lang, second by trustee Brady, or do you have a question, Ken? Ken, did you have a question? I'm sorry. Okay. Thank you. Lang and Brady.
Okay.
Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Argyros?
Yes. 13F.
Resolution approving and authorizing the village president clerk to execute a non-binding term sheet for further development of property at the Prairie Park Development comprising a part of the North Tift District of the Village of Wheeling, Cook and Lake Counties, Illinois.
Thank you. Attorney Ferrillo.
Thank you. Before the board is a term sheet tonight that outlines the business terms for a TIF incentive redevelopment agreement at Prairie Park to incent the final construction of the 5th building. The deal calls for an additional potentially $4.7 million to be put into the project with TIF money to close the gap on financing. In exchange for the increment or the incentive, the village will be granted title to a 7.2 acre parcel of land to the west of Prairie Park upon completion of this building. Payment of the $4.7 million will come solely from increment generated by that 5th building. So no payment will be made unless that 5th building is completed, sold, and tax dollars are being generated. This will be used to bring that project to completion and additionally to incent development of the 7.2 acres to the west of Prairie Park. What will come once you approve the term sheet, which is non-binding, we will negotiate a redevelopment agreement that will incorporate the terms, the business terms of this term sheet. Hopefully we'll have that before you within the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Thank you. Questions? Entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by trustee Vogel.
Second.
Second by trustee Brady. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Argyros?
Yes. 13G.
Resolution approving the FY16 budget for Chicago Executive Airport.
Thank you. Mr. Abbott, you want to come up? Make any comments?
President Argyros.
How are you?
Board of Trustees, good evening. Thanks for putting us on the agenda at the end tonight to hit the city before this meeting, so sorry about that.
Thanks.
So thank you for your consideration tonight. I brought Scott Campbell, he's our CFO. He put a lot of work into this document. So I just want to let you know that this year we did hold a budget workshop meeting last month. So the Board of Directors was able to sit down in a special meeting and go through this document and vet it pretty good. So we did that this year. We didn't do it last year. So that's one thing that we changed it up this year. So I brought Scott here. He is going to go through an executive summary sort of the document, not really get into real detail, but we're here to answer any questions should you have any at the end. So
Thank you.
Scott?
Thank you for allowing me to be here. As Jamie said, I'm Scott Campbell. I'm the CFO at the airport. Just wanted to talk about our fiscal 16 budget. This was approved by the Chicago Executive Airport Board on March 18th. Fiscal 16, the budgeted revenues are expected to go to $3.911 million. That's approximately a $215,000 or 5.62% increase over fiscal 15. Primary reason behind that is one of our large tenants had some rent credits that are expiring for fiscal 16, so they'll be paying full rent going forward. On the operating expense side, we divide the budget into finance and administration and operations and maintenance, the two different divisions. Together, let's see, fiscal 16 is going to be just a hair under 2.968 million. That's about $13,000 less than fiscal 15. Some of that is due to the fact that we won't have that huge dirt pile to remove. That was like a big, ugly, oily mountain that was there when I first started with the airport. But that's been taken care of, so we had some money in the budget for that last year. This year, obviously, we're not going to do that. The biggest change from last year to this year is we've added an additional reserve fund. Currently, we have a sewer reserve fund that all sewer revenues that are generated on the airport go into this fund, and we also have a capital equipment reserve fund that was designed to replace our aging snow equipment and lawn mowing stuff. That fund is still in place, but we've added a building improvement fund, and for the event of we need a new administration building or some other type of building project on the field. We decided to set monies aside for that, so it won't be such a direct whack to a future budget. This year, we're putting $120,000 into the existing SURF fund. That's the capital equipment fund, and $50,000 is going to go. Excuse me, I got that backwards. $120,000 is going into this building fund, and $50,000 is going into the SURF fund. And currently, like I said before, the only thing that goes into the sewer fund is the annual fees or one-time hookup fees that the tenants or the people on the field generate for sewer. Also included in the budget were a list of the capital A projects. These are projects we really expect to get done in the coming year. They're kind of the A list on the state's website too, so that's why we call them the A projects. They're totaling approximately $6.7 million, and that'll include EMAS at the north end of the main runway, runway resurfacing, and other projects of the like. Of that, about $5.9 million of that is funds we expect to be received from the state or the federal government as reimbursement funds, leaving the airport with about $550,000 of actual expense. Also included in the capital A projects is our funds for phase 2 of the master plan. Airport business plan requires that we have 25% of our operating expense held aside as restricted funds, and 25% this coming year will be just under $742,000. At the end of the year, we expect to have a surplus of $800,000, so we're covered there. Any specific questions we can try and help you with?
But before I open it up for questions, when we do entertain a motion to approve your budget, I would ask that the board consider as part of the conditions that 2 line items be removed until we have further knowledge of what's going on with the phase 1, okay? And when we know what we want to put into phase 2 versus just putting monies into phase 2 and not knowing what's in there. That's fair.
Sure.
And those, just for the record, would be on page 16, $100,000 for your proposed fiscal year 16 budget, a line item 52540.20. And also on page 39, $175,000 for the airport master plan phase 2. You guys can always come back once the 2 municipalities agree on what we want to see in phase 2 based on the final draft of phase 1, which I saw a rough draft but not considered to be a final draft. And it's my understanding that will be going to the airport board sometime in May. And I encourage the airport board to set up, Mr. Abbott, a joint meeting, a public joint meeting, along with the airport board, the city of Prospect Heights, and the village of Wheeling, to review phase 1 and see what the consensus is between the 2 ownership municipalities on where we want to go with phase 2. At that point in time, you guys can come back to us with solid numbers on what that cost may be, and I'm sure the good mayor of Prospect Heights, our partner, who him and I have talked numerous times today after meeting with you this morning, we'll be happy to amend your budget at our meeting to move forward. But until then, until we see what's going on, I think it'd be not in good form to do what we're doing here by putting dollars in here, you know, because I'm not in favor of doing that until we know what we're doing. So and I'll open up the discussion, but that's what I'm seeking when we do approve their budget. Those 2 items that Madam Clerk has written down, that be excluded from your budget until later time. So with that, I'll open up questions. Any questions from the board? Trustee Lang?
Jamie, as a clarification, we're hearing a lot about the state cutting back on funding for everything. We will rely on the state for some project funding, in this coming year. Where do we stand on the state, just as reassurance to that money will still be available?
Sure. Fortunately, I'm glad to report that we're not affected negatively so far. I know municipalities are really taking a hit with the state right now, but the state really participates in a lot of our capital projects, which are funded 90% federal, 5% state, and 5% airport. Those projects are secure, and we haven't had any indication that that money is going to go away. So far, so good for us.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? And again, I'll entertain a motion to approve conditionally on the removal of funds for Phase 2 of the master plan study and for the extension in Phase 1, whatever that was on your light item there, Chairman Priester's consultant contract. So for the record, page 16, the light item I mentioned for $100,000, and also page 39, $175,000 for the airport master plan Phase 2. Entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Hein.
Second.
Second by Trustee Krueger. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Krueger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Argyros?
Yes, thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, guys. Looking forward to getting together with you. Official communication. Trustee Brady.
Well, spring is almost here.
Depends what
Maybe
day
it'll
it
stay
is.
for more than a day before it really gets so nice, but the Garden Club is having their plant sale again this year, and we sure could use your business to come in. We'll be at St. Joseph, the Worker, in the front horseshoe there. That's May 16th from 8 a.m. till noon, if I'm not mistaken. So please come out and give us a hand. We have some new things in there. We've got miniature gardens for sale, regular plants, and everything that we might need. So looking forward to see you there, and thank you.
Trustee Hein?
Thank you. Just a quick update on the Memorial Day Parade, which will be held on, of course, Memorial Day, May 25th, from the corners of Dundee and Milwaukee Avenue to Chamber Park. Any service organization, any group, anybody that would like to put a float in, you still can do so. Contact myself, and we will give you the proper details and so on and so forth, and put you into the lineup. It's going to be a fun day. It'll end up with a Settlers Day picnic at Chamber Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Lang?
Nothing this evening, thanks.
Thanks. Trustee Krueger?
Two things quickly. I would like to say that on 2 weeks ago today, I attended a Network for Enterprising Women spring kickoff luncheon, which was before spring showed up and left again. But it was held at Bertog Landscape Company and very well attended. It was sponsored by a number of different chambers, not just Wheeling Prospect Heights. And there were probably 80 to 90 professional women there that met and learned about landscaping, or at least to get ahead of it. And the only other thing is I'm looking very forward to tomorrow's Under the Sea Volunteer Appreciation Luncheon at the Wheeling Senior Pavilion Center. I'm so looking forward to it. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Trustee Vogel?
Nothing, thank you.
Trustee Vito?
Well, this is going to be my last meeting, at least for a little while, I hope a little while. But in any event, I just wanted to let the board and all the residents know what an absolute honor and pleasure it's been to serve these last 4 months on this board. When I was appointed, I had no idea how much I'd be embraced by the people on this board and supported, and for that I'll always be grateful. And all the people I've met, all the staff, everybody else, it's been an absolute pleasure. So thank you. I hope I'll be back, but you never know. And hopefully see you again soon.
Thanks, Joe. Clerk Simpson?
Nothing this evening, sir.
Manager Sfondelis?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay. I have a couple things. First of all, on May 9th, 2015, from 4 to 11 o'clock at the Wheeling High School, this year's event's going to be at Wheeling High School. Last year was at Prospect. Relay for Life of Mont Prospect and Wheeling. What they've done now, instead of every school doing their own or every community doing their own, they've taken 2 communities and done one, and it's huge and wonderful. I was at Prospect last year, and I'm happy to announce this year it's going to be at Wheeling High School. For information, please contact Carrie Butz, B-U-T-Z, at 847-317-0209. It's a great thing for to get involved with that. I'm sure all of us have had friends or family that have suffered and gone through cancer, and this is just a great evening to get together with our neighbors, our friends, and for a good cause. And again, that's May 9th, 2015, from 4 p.m. at 11 to 11 p.m. at the Wheeling High School. So we're looking forward to that. Just a couple things, Joe, just to piggyback on what you said. You filled the seat of a very tough time for us as a board, and I thank you for that. The residents thank you, I know our staff does, and the rest of the board, thank you for stepping in. It was an emotional time, and we knew we had business to take care of and go through the hard time of dealing with the loss of Bob. Want to announce on May 4th, we will have the swearing in of those who got reelected, Trustee Lang and Trustee Vogel, and Trustee-elect, right now, in the eyes of the county, Mary Papantos. And we will do that next Monday at 6:30, and we'll swear them in, and we wish Joe the best and see what his endeavors are going to come out to be. But right now, Mary and I have met, and we're getting her prepared to take the seat, and so we can move forward with the business that we have in hand, and I'm looking forward to that as well. So tell your friends to come on by. It should be another momentous event, the swearing in trustees, so we can move on. It's been a tough year, Joe, and it's been tough for a lot of us, and a lot of roller coaster stuff, and I know, you know what, the strength of a good team gets you through the hard times, and I see that happening with all of us. So I appreciate, again, what you've done, and I'm sure you'll be back somewhere in some capacity of the Village of Wheeling, for sure. That's all I have. John, nothing else on your end?
Nope, thank you.
Entertained to approve the bills of March 26 through April 22nd, 2015, excluding vendor number 4379, because the Finance Department needs to go through some issues regarding some billing issues there. So, entertain that motion.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Vogel.
Second?
Second by Trustee Kruger. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
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 President Jers?
Yes.
Need some oil?
Entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss review and approval of minutes of executive sessions lawfully closed under the Open Meetings Act, the setting of a price for sale or lease of property owned by the village, and the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of a specific employee or employees of the village. Entertain that motion.
So moved.
Motion by Trustee Kruger.
Second.
Second by Trustee Lang. Roll call.
Trustee Vito?
Yes.
Trustee Hein?
Yes.
Trustee Kruger?
Yes.
Trustee Vogel?
Yes.
Trustee Lang?
Yes.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
President Jers?
Yes. Let's figure we'll go into executive session in about 10 minutes, okay? Good night, everyone.